Oh dear, did I just set the tone? Hi, I'm Ben and welcome to a Shots Fired Airsoft video, and this is going to be the review of the Raven Dragon 7 Hi Capa. Now if you viewed the unboxing video of the Dragon, you will know I had some misgivings about its build quality, and I would like to say that they've pretty much been unfounded. However, a lot of the other concerns that I had with it, like the complex drawn out teardown to get to the hop-up chamber, and the limited mag compatibility, the general sort of cheapness of its build, are very much founded. The main plus points of the Raven are generally in its furnishings. Obviously it's got the extended release for the slide, very short pull trigger, lovely compensator on the front. It's got the fibre optic or faux fibre optic sight on the front, skeletonised hammer, and generally it is a good looking pistol. Another good point for the Dragon 7 is gas efficiency. I was able to get, in about 7-degree temperatures, 2 full mags out of a single gas fill. So that's about 50-ish BBs, and it was still cycling at the end. It didn't have enough gas to lock back, so I didn't bother filling the mag up again because it probably wouldn't really have done much. Maybe 1 or 2 BBs before it gassed out. However, that did impress me. The WE Dragon that I've got, which is a very similar style pistol, could only really do a mag and a half. So that is another plus point for it. However, now we have to get into the nitty gritty. And for this, I'm going to look at the pistol first in isolation. As a pistol, it carries a decent FPS of between 315 and 325, and it is fairly consistent whilst firing. However, I'm going to show you now the results of the firing test that I did, and you will see that the accuracy is just not there. I will show you in a minute me performing a similar test on my WE, which is a cheap pistol as well, and out of the box will fire very accurately, but we'll get onto that in a sec. So as you can see here, we've got standard 15 metre range. We're on 0.2 gram BBs this time, industry standard, and I'm using Newport green gas, and we're firing at a target that's about 12 inches tall by 9 inches, and it's the centre of the torso target. And we are all over the place, absolutely all over the place. Now these are the first rounds that have been fired out of the pistol, so obviously you've got to allow a bit more for kind of hop-up settling, and I thought, I'll give it another go, so put another mag in, fired it again, all over the place. If you watched my original unboxing review of the Dragon 7, I was desperately trying not to tear it down and adjust the hop, but I was getting no hop at all. At 15 metre range, these BBs were dropping, you know, a good foot or two before they were reaching even the target. So you're talking probably like over a 10 metre range, the BB would level, and then they would simply drop. Now I thought I left the hop roughly about halfway, which I figured would be enough to hop, a 0.2 gram BB, and it just wasn't. It wasn't at all. So now I'm going to put in well, you are seeing a time-lapse teardown of the Dragon 7 from start to finish, and you'll see precisely how much of an absolute ball ache it is to get into this gun to make even the simplest of adjustments. And this is something that's unique to the 7 because it has the additional compensator with many screws that are made of cheese, which is why they give you spare screws, I believe anyway, in the box when you get it, because they know they're going to round out. And my question is, if they know they're going to round out, rather than giving you spares, why not just use decent quality fastenings in the first place? Yeah, yes, it might cost an extra £1 per gun. I would pay that £1. Anyway, moving along. The hop-up is now set 3/4 on, so I only have another you know, sort of 25% movement in the hop up. With it set like this, it will just lift a 0.2. So don't go thinking you're going to be flinging 0.28s or 0.3s down the range with this on the standard hop up. So straight away, to make it really useful as sort of like an outdoor field pistol, you are going to have to swap most likely the hop up bucking. You're going to have to swap the hop up arm, maybe the whole hop up unit, and I'm not sure if this is actually compatible with any other sort of well-known brand. It does physically differ from the hop up in the WE, which I believe is very TM based. So it may be that you struggle to find hop ups for these. Anyway, with that done, we come to the secondary firing test. So this is post teardown, and we have a hop up which is set 3/4 on. We're now lifting 0.2s to the target without any drop off. But again, there is just something very inconsistent. It's either the standard barrel it comes with, or it could be the inconsistency of the hot rubber. Maybe it's just the wrong material, but this thing is all over the place. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop in some firing footage of my many times skirmished, worn in W Dragon 7, which is also set for 0.25s. You'll see when I start this, I am pinging between the main target and the tiny bullseye on the top left, and I'm switching between these targets alternately, and I'm very close on that bullseye, and I nail that bullseye in the top left. So moving on to the chrono test, as you can see here, there is nothing wrong with this. It holds 315ish FPS. It would do more in summer, but you're probably looking at 325 to 330 FPS, which is about what it's rated at. There is nothing wrong with that at all as a pistol in isolation. The only problem is that this gun is large. It has a long barrel, and the reality of the situation is it should carry an advantage because of that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slot in a bit of Chrono footage from the Dragon 7, which is obviously the WE version, and what you'll see here is this will carry pretty much 350 FPS dead on consistently. That combined with its superior hop, which will hop up to, in my experience, about 0.3s, although I use 0.25s out of the box, you will see that it is in fact so much better in terms of consistency. It isn't jumping around by 5 to 10 FPS every now and then, and it is also vastly superior in terms of overall FPS. You're looking at 30 to 35 FPS advantage to the Dragon 7. So again, one of the other things we were talking about was magazine compatibility in the unboxing. I was a bit disappointed to find out that the Raven didn't take the WE mags, as I have quite a few WE mags. And also just disappointed in general because there isn't really that much of a reason to not have them cross compatible, especially when you find out that the magazine in the Raven, which I didn't look at this in the unboxing, will in fact function perfectly fine in the WE. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but it's not especially impressive. Okay, so one thing I didn't look at in the original unboxing was tracer compatibility. So the front of this airsoft weapon, we have a 12mm clockwise barrel thread. So here is my X-Core Mini, and this just has a 12mm clockwise thread on one end and a 14mm negative on the other, and all we do is slide that in there, and then this will screw through the large hole in the front of the compensator, take that sleeve, and it will go right in, and you can tighten it against the compensator. You can't tighten it against the barrel, but it will still fire fine and cycle, and it doesn't loosen off after one shot. So that is a positive. The Dragon 7 by WE does take a little bit of fiddling to get a silencer on the front or a tracer unit, so that is one thing that we are, it's an advantage for the Raven, I will say that much. So to sum up the Raven 7, I'm a bit disappointed in it, to be honest. feels kind of cheap. And I know this is a budget in inverted commas range of pistols, and I'll mention why it's budget in inverted commas in a moment. I was expecting more. The hop-up is disappointing. It renders the gun, well, unless mine's a lemon, I will admit, you know, it is Chinese, tolerance and all that might not be that fantastic, but if this is indicative of Raven pistols in general, the hop-up not working is a kind of a bit of an oopsie out of the box. Velocity is average, especially for the size of the gun, maybe disappointing even. Mag compatibility is not there. I had no mechanical failures at all. It works precisely as intended. It's probably a good 10 mags for it, which granted isn't a lot, but that's 200 BBs. That is enough time for something to back out, loosen off, bind up. You know, the nozzles on these are known for breaking if they are going to break within a few shots. This one has been great, and I've really quite enjoyed using it. But again, it's half. It's kind of half the pistol that an equivalent WE Dragon 7 is. And again, it come back to that point of inverted commas budget. This Raven is actually £10 more expensive if you were to go to, say, patrol base than this WE, and for that money I cannot recommend the Raven. If this was 90, you know, but even then you're looking at fiddling with the hop and all sorts of stuff to get it to actually work as a pistol as intended. Whereas the WE, this is completely and utterly unchanged out of the box. It is totally stock. It's got wear on it. You know, this has been used, you know, it's been run a lot. It's not fallen to bits. I treat my guns well. You know, they aren't cheap. And really, it's just a, it's just a shape. So this cost me, it was around £120 off patrol base. Might have actually been 130. I can't quite remember. And these are on now, I believe, for 110 to 120 around. You can find them for. And for that sort of money, you want one of these if you want a large hand cannon looking pistol. So thank you very much for watching. I've been Ben, and this is a Shots Fired Airsoft video. Please like, comment, subscribe, dislike, whatever you want to do in the comments, and check out the Twitter feeds, the Facebook feed for upcoming videos, information. And if you'd like to get involved and steer the direction of the channel a little bit, you are more than welcome to request videos on guns. I am looking at working towards keeping a large sort of back catalogue of reviews and information for people, and just be a, you know, kind of one of the places that you come to before purchasing something, because I will give you the straight opinion on a gun. I'm not going to take it out of the box, fire it 3 times and proclaim it the best thing ever because it's shiny. It will get tested. I will tell you if it feels awful, fires awful. So thank you very much and goodbye.